Thank you for joining us today, and I'm so excited to have Coach Lance back with us. Actually, he called me and he said, hey, can I get back on? I've got some great news I want to share. I don't know what the great news is, but you and I are going to share that information when we bring Coach Lance on. If you remember right, he was on several episodes ago. He just got out of prison. He was just landing, just getting used to being on the outside, and he's got some good news for us. So stay tuned. I think you're going to really feel inspired by what we have to say. Coach Lance, you reached out to me and you said, get me back on the podcast. What's up with you?
Yes, this has been amazing. So, Coach Taylor, I've been out since May 12th, right? And I hit the ground running. So I went back to school. I got my certification for a certified recovery mentor, a peer support specialist, and I am about 4 months away from getting my license to be an addiction counselor.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. And I want to hear every word of it, but I think your microphone might be, if you are on a battery, it might be a low battery. Let's try a couple other ways to give this news. I heard it, but I think once we edit it and get it up onto Spotify and Apple and into 1,700 prisons that have tablets with possibly over 1 million people seeing this. I want to make sure they can hear every word because it is inspiring. So let's work on your audio a little bit. Now I cannot hear you.
Oh, now you can't hear me.
Now I can hear you, but let's see if it's stable.
Okay. Maybe I might want to plug in my laptop. Can you hear me better now if I lean in?
You know, it's really about the sequencing of the audio. It's not grabbing the full words, so it's loud enough, but it's like broken up. Like you're traveling over a dirty road way out in the outback, and I'm getting every other word.
Maybe you want to do this to myself, or maybe it'll sound a little better. You want to...
Yeah, let's bring in your, let's try it on your cell phone. So go ahead and call on your cell phone. And you know what? I'm going to leave this in the podcast. Why? Because most of our viewers, most of our listeners are incarcerated. And most of them should not have cell phones, and most of them should not be on internet. Some, of course, break the rules, and we know they are. But a majority of individuals behind bars don't have access to internet, don't know how to get on a Zoom meeting, don't know how to make a cell phone call. And actually working through this with you should relieve for them some of the anxiety they're going to feel when that happens to them. Now, I am admitting your cell phone into our room, and let's see if we get a better audio feed there. Let's see if that works.
How about now?
You know what? That's actually far better. So can we now turn the other computer off?
Of course.
I like that. It's very dramatic lighting you have there. The lighting is more like a, I don't know, film noir kind of lighting.
It's pretty bright, isn't it?
No, I actually like it. So tell me again, you got out in May. Right now it's December, so we're not talking that long. You got out in May and you reached out to me and you said, Coach, I'm out. How can I be of service? I want to say thank you to GOGI. I'm using my tools. Fast forward, it's December. Tell me the news that you wanted to share that got you to reach out to me, say, Coach, can I get back on? Can I talk to our GOGI people? Talk to me about why.
This is very important. I was really scared when I first got out, if I was really going to be successful. I mean, these GOGI tools really helped me change, my old habit thinking and my negativity and all these barriers that I was struggling with, but I was still scared, right? But I hit the ground running. So I called the PO's office. I called a couple of our other coaches, and I just really dove in. And then
Now
I got
tell
into
me,
school.
let me interrupt for a moment. Scared of what? Scared of what?
Failure.
What does a person, when they've been behind bars 30 days or 30 years, what is the fear? Where is it in the body? And what is it? Is it just this blanket global thing, or is it specific?
Oh, for me, it's going to be pretty specific. I was afraid of failure. I was afraid maybe I couldn't cut it anymore. I mean, I was in prison for 4.5 years. And when I got out, I barely knew how to use the email. I didn't know how to use Zoom until we had our first meeting. There was a lot that I really forgot, I mean, you live in a closed box, or at least it feels like a box. You forget how the world really works. And when I got out here, it was like, whoa, okay, can I really do this? But I buckled down, and I started school, and I got my certified recovery mentorship. I got a peer support specialist certificate, and I'm about 5 or 6 classes away from getting my license to be an addiction counselor.
Absolutely brilliant. Now tell me, there will be a guy or a woman sitting on their bunk watching you on a tablet saying, well, 4 years is nothing. Of course he's going to be successful. 4 years, I've been down 30. I didn't even have a cell phone. I had a pager when I went in. Tell me, how did your life before it wasn't similar to your life now? I mean, there was a whole long trajectory of pretty bad decisions and destructive decisions. So the 4 years that you did could have been 40 for the lifestyle you were living. Talk to me about, how is it to make that lifestyle switch from what you were to what you are now? It wasn't just 4 years locked away and you had time to do some classes.
No.
You shifted your entire life. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that took a lot of time. That wasn't just like, hey, I did 4 years, now I'm out and I'm successful. It really didn't happen like that at all. The first year I was a troublemaker, I was still fighting, still, doing whatever I could to impress other people. But then, in the hole one day, in IMU, I sat there and, one of your guys said, hey, try the GOGI program. I says, what is that? And so then I wrote you and says, I'd like to try the GOGI program. And I tried a couple of the little GOGI programs. And I was like, this seems silly. But then I read your book, With Love by Coach Taylor.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes.
Oh,
And that is what gave me the passion to really dive into GOGI, because your whole story about you went into the prison system for a school thing, and you found that you felt more trapped than these guys that were physically trapped. I feel that. I can relate to that. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, And so I kind of felt like I hit rock bottom, and you inspired me. So I continued. And that took actually 2.5 years to get my certification through you guys. Yeah. And so it was a struggle. It was off and on. It wasn't just success. I still had fallbacks. I still found myself being negative. There's old habits, that we have to work through. And it's these tools right here, the boss of my brain, belly breathing, 5-second light switch, positive words, positive thoughts, positive actions. Let me look real quick so I remember. Claim responsibility, let go, forgive. What if? I love what if. What if allows us to really think about it. Okay, so what if I do this? Am I going to be successful? Can I do this? Yes, I can. Okay, let's go. And it's changed everything in my life now. I was a dope head. I was a gang member. I mean, I did some really bad stuff in my time, but I feel different now. And it all started with the GOGI program. And I just want to thank you so much. I want to give a shout out. Can I give a shout out to one of our coaches?
You could shout out to prior institutions, prior housing units, even, I don't know what, ADSAG, I don't know what you call it, IMU at ODC. Even to your cell number, if you want to shout out to whatever cell you were locked in, you do all the shout outs you want. I want to make certain that your voice is heard because it is the voice of experience. It is the voice of walking beyond the gangs, walking beyond the drugs, walking beyond harming others, to now you are stepping up and you are totally being the solution. Like you said, it wasn't an easy dance. It took you 2.5 years to be a certified GOGI coach. But throughout that whole time, you were molding and shaping and utilizing What If to be who you are. So my dear Coach Lance, you shout out to anybody you want to shout out to.
Let me pause and say, yes, it was a struggle, and it's still a struggle. It's not nipped in the bud. It's not like something that I've overcome and now I'm fixed. This is daily. This is, I refresh my memory all the time. Make sure I'm the boss of my brain. Am I being positive? Am I thinking positive? Am I speaking positive? I have to reflect all the time. So yes, it's still difficult. It's not a one and done deal. This is a reminder every day, But I want to give a shout out to Coach David Robinson in Snake River, A1A1. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for talking to me. And thank you for offering me GOGI. Thank you.
Wow. Well, that's beautiful. It's wonderful to hear that our guys on the inside who may or may not be getting out anytime soon are having such an amazing impact. So he welcomed you into the GOGI family. He kind of helped you along the way. He's still behind bars, and now you are shouting out to say thank you. That I just love it. Just proof that who we think is the problem may actually end up being our solution. And that's just a testament to that. And the Oregon Department of Corrections has done a great job of supporting the men and the women who really, really want to show up as the solution. So that makes me happy. Were there officers or counselors that were supportive of your journey?
Yes. There was only one officer, and he was an officer. Then he turned to a counselor and became your GOGI liaison. I forget his name, but he was the only guy that ran GOGI for Snake River.
Wow.
And I ended up doing all the books, and he put me in charge of Snake River. So I was distributing books, running groups. I mean, he definitely supported me.
By chance, was it Counselor Graves, or maybe he was at another place?
Graves, the other one. Graves took it over from, it was the tall white guy. I forget his name now. But Graves took it over from him.
There are so many wonderful officers and counselors who actually support our GOGI initiative. They want to see positive decisions being made. They support individuals who are building this new culture utilizing the GOGI Life tools. So I want to shout out to all those officers and counselors who are willing to let the GOGI individuals be the leaders that they can be the positive impact that they can be. Coach Lance, I am so, we're up early to get this done because you're headed off to a church meeting?
No, I'm headed off to work this morning.
Oh, you have work this morning. So will you see actual clients? You'll be working with clients today?
Not quite yet.
So what does work look like for you? So you're in this stage where your final certification. What do you do every day?
So I actually work at a gas station at the moment.
Uh-huh.
I work full-time at Chevron, and I just applied for 4D recovery. This is like a big organization. So I just did the interview yesterday. We'll hear about it this next week if I get the job. But my first job was Chevron. They've been really good to me. I can't be mad of small beginnings,
Yeah, and that comes to a point. A lot of individuals, when they get out, they say, well, I'm not going to work at a gas station. I'm not going to work at a warehouse. I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that. How was it strategic for you to take that job and really been there since May? Why was it that you chose that job, and how did that support you in building a solid foundation?
I wanted to go into mentorship immediately, but I didn't feel like I was fully ready. You know, there's a lot of information to retain and digest before you can bring it back out and give it to somebody else, right? And when I applied, I thought, yeah, it's just a gas station, but it's a job. I've been in prison for a couple of years. I need to start slow, you know, because if I jump in too deep, I might bite off more than I can chew. So the Chevron job was great. It gave me a lot of time to think, reflect, study, because I'm a cashier. You know, people come in and then there's a lot of downtime, so I can do a lot of studying. And
but
so it's been,
you're a cashier. Somebody's trusting you with money. Somebody's trusting you behind a cash register. Shout out to whoever owns your Chevron station, because they are trusting you with the cash that comes in, with the credit cards. You are not scamming and taking credit card pictures and selling it off to Pakistan or wherever. You know, people are trusting you with transactions that are related to their financial well-being. And you respect that enough to be able to hold that in reverence and actually protect that. So kudos to you for that, and to the manager who hired you, who had the insight to know that you are a good man and you are trustworthy.
Yeah, you know, when I applied for the job, they asked me, you know, do you have any kind of history? And I says, yeah, I have a little bit going on. They said, well, we have to do a background check. And well, then when they did the background check, that paper kept growing. And, you know, then I had to answer for every charge. They wanted to interview me. I said, well, what happened here? What happened here? What happened here? And I was like, oh, man, they're not going to want to hire me. I says, yes, but that was me back then. Can you please give me a chance? So shout out to Chevron. Thank you so much. They hire all felons, but they want to see that you've made a difference in your thinking, you know, and that's what the corporate said, because I work for a corporate, Chevron. And so I was lucky. I didn't think I was going to get a job. You know, I got a long list of felonies. Yeah, I was afraid, but I am very blessed to say that they hired me, and I've been there ever since. Yes. Yeah.
So for the person that's getting ready to go home and they are afraid, what is your suggestion for them? And we will close with this so that you can go up. We don't want to have you be late for work, because I know you're probably 5 minutes early and you stay 5 minutes afterwards. So what is your advice to that person who feels, oh, I've been down so long. I haven't been sober all that much. I still have, my aunt and uncle are still in the gang. For somebody who there's that magnetic pull back to that past, what do you have to say for them?
That's a great question. You know, I know you feel maybe like you have no options, or that it's safer to go back to what you know. Trust me, it'll feel uncomfortable for probably the first year, because I still feel uncomfortable. But you can do it. You can do it. Reach out for support. I've found out myself, I wouldn't have been successful had I not reached out for support. You can do this. If you want something different, just reach out.
Coach Lance, I love that. And we will leave our audience with that. I want you to reach out to me when you do get your license as a drug treatment counselor. And you did not ask from me to give you yes, you did, a letter of reference. For all of our certified coaches, we do that. Make certain that you do that again when you're up for your next position. And I am just so proud of you. And thank you for keeping GOGI in the loop and reaching out for our students, because your story is an inspiration and it will change lives.
Thank you. I hope so.
I appreciate you very much.
I appreciate GOGI. Can we end this meeting with our pledge?
Absolutely. I would like you to say it. Just pause so the person can say it in their mind, because if you and I say it at the same time, our microphones get confused. But I would love to have you say the pledge. And if you wouldn't mind, why is the pledge so important to you?
This is a reminder of what we are pledging to.
I love it. Okay.
May our commitment to the study of GOGI grant us the joy of giving and receiving, so that our inner freedom may become maximum service to those we love and infinite others. GOGI for life.
Oh, I love that. Warms my heart. What a great way to start the day. You have a super day at Chevron. Anybody that's coming up there for a fill up is being blessed by your presence, I'm sure.
Okay. Thank you, Taylor.
See you later.
See you, GOGIs.
Bye. Oh, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully you are as inspired as I am by the GOGI stories and by our GOGI leadership and how the culture truly is shifting. And why is it shifting? Because the individuals we once thought were the problem are actually showing up as the solution. Stay tuned to our next episode. And thank you so much for joining us. G-O-G-I, GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. G-O-G-I, G-O-G-I, GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. G-O-G-I, G-O-G-I, GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. G-O-G-I, G-O-G-I, GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by.